What's up, everybody? It's Punk Rock Talk, episode 33. Today, my guest is James McDowell of Punxmas Fest. Right now, you're listening to Full Force Attack by Chaotic Alliance. There's a throwback for you. It's on our Spotify playlist, Rebellion Noise 2022. You can find it by searching for it on Spotify or going to the Havoc's Spotify channel, scrolling to the bottom, and you'll see it there. Love these guys. Been a long time since I've talked to any of these guys in person, since the early 2000s, but man, they were a cool bunch of guys. Kind of dropped off the map. I have no idea what they're doing now, but I hope all is well in their lives. Have you missed an old episode of Punk Rock Talk? Not to worry, they are on the Havoc's YouTube channel. New episodes are uploaded every Wednesday evening. As soon as we're done here, they get uploaded to our channel. If you have not subscribed to our YouTube channel yet, you should do that. And while you're there, tap that or click that bell icon and you'll be notified every time we upload new content to our channel. This episode of Punk Rock Talk and every episode of Punk Rock Talk are brought to you by our wonderful sponsor, Dead and Buried Inc. Are you in a band? Do you need merchandise? They are your source. That's Dead and Buried Inc. INC, not INK. You can find them here on Instagram at Dead and Buried Inc. or online at deadandburiedinc.com. You can request a quote from them. They can print just about anything under the sun. T-shirts, patches, buttons, stickers, bandanas, banners, posters. They can do it all. Punk Rock Talk is also brought to you by Rebellion Noise Records. There's several things in the works for Rebellion Noise Records right now. Probably going to be making some announcements next month for that. But as of right now, we've got 2 compilations out. The first one is the 40 Fest Sampler, and then Punk Rock Attack Volume 1. Many of you have asked if there's a way for us to ship them to you. Well, we're working on it. So again, expect some updates for that next month. Before we get our guest on here, I'd like to talk for a second about something that we've been going over every week here. It is the GoFundMe link for Brittany of Oil Change. If you're not familiar with what's going on, Brittany is going to be undergoing heart surgery to have a valve repaired. I don't believe a date has been set for that yet. I'm sure it's going to be sometime next year, probably early next year. But her insurance is not covering it, of course. Her insurance has not covered any of the tests that she has already had run. And I'm sure it's going to be costly. There was a benefit show for Britt last Friday. They managed to raise a little over $500 for her from that show. So that is a definite plus, but there's a long way to go, guys. If you can find it in your heart to help Britt Again, the GoFundMe link is listed on Oil Change's Instagram page in their bio section. Okay. Having said that, it's about time to get our guest on here. So I'm going to go ahead and get our invitation sent. Give me a second here. I'm just making a couple of adjustments, guys. All right. The invitation has been sent. Hopefully we'll have him on here soon. All right, stand by, guys. If you have questions for myself or James during the course of this interview, you can submit them by tapping that question mark icon on your screen. Please don't put them in the comments section, guys. I rarely see them if they're there. Okay, hopefully he's not having any technical problems. I was just on the phone with him a little bit before we started the interview, and everything seemed to be rolling fine. So, James, if you're watching this, the invitation has been sent. You should be, it says he's unable to join. Okay. Hang tight, everybody. I'm gonna try this again. Okay. Invitation's been sent again. How are all of you doing out there? Your week going all right? Well, we're waiting to hear. Weird. I don't know why it's not coming through on your end. Well, you're here, but it's just on a call, so it's not live with the audience. Okay, so go ahead and turn that off, and then I'll try again, and we'll see if that works. Okay, bye. I'm gonna try one more time here and see if we can get this going. Okay, it's been sent. Thanks for being patient, guys. While we're waiting, why don't you tell me in the comments what bands you're checking out right now? Is there anything new that you've been listening to, or maybe an old favorite? Oh, our good friends in the Parasitic said, "What's up? How you doing, guys?" Okay. Looks like he sent the invitation to join, which I've accepted, but it's still not connecting. Unable to join. James, if you're watching, you might need to update Instagram. Okay, he said send again. Got it. Okay, we'll try it again. Okay, invitation's been sent. Maybe we'll get it this time.
Oh,
There we
stop.
go.
Hey, what's up? Yeah, I got to figure it out.
Well, I'm glad that we were able to get over that hurdle, man. How you doing today?
Pretty good.
Right on.
Pretty long day, but pretty good. It's like pretty early in the day for me, and it's already been long.
Right on. Well, it's kind of getting down to the end of the day for me, and I'm glad. Wednesdays, I'm usually really tired. But I always look forward to doing this show, no matter how tired I am.
Yeah, I feel that.
So, man, it's good to have you on here. For people out there that don't know, why don't you go ahead and just introduce yourself, tell everybody where you're from, and the festival that you put on.
Okay. I'm James McDowell from Houston, Texas. I run Punxmas Fest as of 2015. So I've been doing it for, was that 6 years now? Would be 7 if not for COVID.
Right.
Yeah, it's been going on for 16 now. So like other people used to run it before, way back in the day. So yeah, I picked it up around then. It started out as a tiny little festival where it's like maybe 5 or 6 bands or something, which honestly is probably more like just a show. And then just started kind of growing every year ever since then. And now like we're having bands like The Virus and stuff like that, Endless Struggle and Blanks and stuff like that. So it's been kind of fun watching it evolve over the years.
Absolutely, man. Tell me, what was that transition period, like from whoever was running it before to you taking it over? Like, how'd that all come about for you?
Well, that guy, Mike, he was my roommate at the time, and I was already kind of helping him out anyway. Like, I've always kind of had a little bit of a hand in it, so it wasn't really too big of a deal for me because I was already running shows anyway. Like, I've been put on shows for a long time, and so it was actually really easy. And if you ask me, it may actually be easier when I took it over because it's just like I think it was just getting a little too hectic. Some people just don't really like know how to handle putting out so many bands at once, and they get super stressed about it. But kind of reorganize the way it was done, and actually enjoy it a lot more now than I was whenever I was just helping.
Very cool, man. I always love to ask guests about, their early days as a kid and what got them into the punk scene. Tell us a little bit about that. Tell us your journey and what led you into the scene.
Tony Hawk's Pro Skater.
You know what, man? That doesn't surprise me, and I hear that actually a lot.
Yeah. Seriously, man, the game was revolutionary for music.
Yeah,
no, it was that game. I remember being a little kid, like a little skater kid, or trying to be a skater kid. I kind of sucked at it when I was younger. But yeah, my friend had it. We'd go play it for a while. I started getting into some of the bands I was hearing on it. And that's like kind of in the earlier days of the internet, but there was still the internet, sort of. So I started just kind of looking up bands. And then, I went from like Suicide Machines and like Dead Kennedys that were on there. There's a few others. And kind of went from there and just fucking went outward. Then I was just kind of like sort of into it. And then yeah, I don't know. I think it's whenever I discovered Give 'Em the Boot. One of my friends, or is my friend now, but I met this kid in 9th grade who came from California, and he let me borrow his Give 'Em the Boot CD and like a bunch of other shit, and fucking that sealed that fate right there.
Yeah, man, those compilations were so cool when they came out.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Holy shit. Like, I still sometimes put it on. I still got the same CD. I never did give it back. Sorry, dude.
No, we've actually talked about that on multiple occasions on this show because the Havoc was featured on this.
Oh, dude, sick. Yeah.
And when these came out, dude, it was really cool because they were all over the country,
Yeah.
and they were free.
Damn. Yeah.
And like even Hot Topic carried them, like they had them up by the cash register.
Yeah. Yeah.
And like who knows how many people got into the punk scene just because that sampler was there and available for free. And like you said, having your copy of Give 'Em the Boot, I still have my copy of the Punkcore sampler, as well as all my other old CDs. I still have all of them.
Yeah, Punks Unite and all that. Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Dude, that was another one of my favorites.
So that's a big reason why I wanted to start my new label and start putting out compilations for that, because there's just something about having that physical copy. I mean,
yeah,
it looks fucking cool, and like you associate so many memories to physical, tangible things, that you hold on to.
Yeah, I agree. Like, I was just talking to my friends the other day about like them looking up tabs and stuff on their phone to play on their guitar. And I always tell them, like, yeah, even this day, like, I still print tabs out. Like, I'd rather, like, if I even need them, like, if I could, I'll just, like, print stuff out. I'd rather have stuff in print, man.
Yeah. Yeah, because fumbling through things on your device, like, there's too many distractions, like, with notifications that come through or whatever. But, like, when you have that, that piece of paper, it's printed out, it's not going anywhere. Like,
yeah, I'm more likely to read it that way, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we should talk about that a little bit, too, because you're also a musician.
Yeah.
So what led you to, your journey with becoming a musician? Like, was it a family member that also played, or just a buddy, or?
No, I think it's, I've always liked music, man. Like, ever since I was 4, 5, something like that. Like, I remember watching, like, MTV with my parents. My parents were really young when they had me. So, like, MTV was always on at my house growing up in the 90s, like, early 90s. Like, there's always, like, all that grunge shit, like, just, like, constant, nonstop in my house. So, like, I mean, that's pretty much where it started. I just immediately liked music from the get-go. And then my parents got me a guitar when I was 12. So, yeah, just never really stopped. Even though my dad begged me to stop, I never stopped. And I went harder every time he told me to stop. Sorry, Dad. But yeah, man, like, I think, honestly, if it weren't for, like, my parents, like, begging me so much to, like, maybe go to college and get, like, a real job, I probably wouldn't be doing this.
It's funny, man, because actually there's a lot of parallels between your story and my own. Talking about, the early 90s and MTV. I was watching all that shit, too. And, I remember, like, some of those music videos, like, Rancid's Ruby Soho, seeing that for the first time and just being like, wow, like there's a lot of energy behind this performance, and like that kind of shit made me want to pick up the guitar and start playing. And same age, about 12.
Yeah, I mean, in terms of that, like, dude, Ruby Soho is one of my favorite. I had that as my ringtone, like, when I was in high school, I think. But yeah, I'd say, like, Suicide Machines, that was actually probably the first band I ever, like, heard that got me into it in the first place. And that's probably one of the bands that got me really wanting to do it, too, like, to actually go into it, like, be a musician.
Mm-hmm.
But then I just kept growing more and more with each band I listened to. I wanted to do more and more. So eventually, by the time I was 15, I started making little garage bands and shit and playing terrible, terrible shows.
Hey, man, we've all been there. And you got to start somewhere.
Oh, yeah. Oh, man, they were so bad they were good, though,
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I remember the first shows that I played, and definitely terrible. But like, it's just all part of the learning experience.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure my first band was called the DAs, or, like, the Dumbasses, literally. That's like, that's the kind of bad I'm talking, man. Like, it was great.
Right on, man. I talking about, like, MTV and those early music videos. I watch a lot of those still. And recently watching some videos by Alice in Chains. And
which one?
the them Bones.
Oh yeah, yeah. Dude, I love it. Dude, Alice in
Um,
Chains all day over here, dude.
so good, dude. And that record, Dirt, it just turned 30, and they're on tour promoting that record right now.
Shit, 30.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
old.
It's so weird to think that, like, records from back then, now they're 30 years old.
Yeah, they're on the classic rock stations now, man.
Yeah, isn't that bizarre? Because like when we were kids, like that was like the new hard rock, and now like
Oh yeah.
to call it classic rock just seems weird.
Yeah, no, I'm sorry, but "Smells Like Teen Spirit" is not a classic rock song, dude.
Yeah, yeah,
Like they got Nirvana on there, but got Alice in Chains, all that shit. Oh, it's weird.
yeah, totally. I'd love to talk about Houston for a minute.
All right, sweet. It's my favorite topic. One of
Right
them.
on. Were you born and raised there?
Yeah, I'm born and raised north side of Houston.
Okay.
Kind of in between like Greens Point and Humble for anybody that actually knows. Yeah. What about Houston particularly though?
Well,
Is anything particularly like?
I have a very fond memory of being there on tour. And I believe it was my first time ever going to Houston.
Yeah.
And like the Havoc played a lot of shows in the early 2000s, and there's so many that I don't remember. But this show in Houston, for some reason, like I just will never forget it. Part of it was the venue was so cool. I don't even remember the name of the venue, but it was a really large venue.
Yeah.
And not only was the venue cool, but the size of the crowd was, I don't know, it just kind of caught me off guard, like how many people were there. I was like, wow, this is really cool.
Yeah.
But one of the other really cool things that happened to that show was Sean Smash from Total Chaos was there.
Yeah.
And he came up and introduced himself, and I was like, wow, I wasn't expecting to see this person at the show.
Yeah. He's actually from here. So yeah, he shows up every once in a while and just hangs out. Yeah.
Yeah, cool guy. He and I still talk to this day.
Yeah.
But I don't know, man. Like that, I guess just for whatever reason, like that show kind of put like a soft place in my heart for the city of Houston.
Yeah.
And every time I think about it, or like if I'm going to be going there on tour, like I'm always excited about it.
Yeah, man.
Justin just commented and said it's called Fitzgerald's. Is that place still there?
No, man. Oh man, that sucks. Yeah, no, the place doesn't exist anymore. It's just a big slab of concrete now, which really sucks because, man, yeah, I could probably talk for like 3 hours about that place, but like that's definitely one of the spots to be in back in the day for sure. Probably been to some of my favorite, yeah, actually, absolutely favorite shows there.
Cool, man.
Yeah.
So,
but yeah,
talking about venues, can you tell us about the venue that you're using for Punxmas? Is it the same venue this year as it has been in years past, or is it different?
well, I'm about to actually confirm that with the venue, so I'm not gonna say exactly where just yet, only because I haven't totally 100%ed that one yet. But
Gotcha.
yeah, I can say that it may well end up being the one from last year. So, but yeah, I mean, it's gonna be a venue that I believe will be absolutely best for this year for sure. Like, I've never really had a venue that I've disliked for it. I mean, there's been some that I've liked less than others, but typically, like, we end up in pretty good spots, and I'm gonna make sure this one's as good as it always has been.
Cool, man.
Yeah.
Are you at a point right now where you'd be able to announce any bands?
Oh yeah, yeah. I haven't announced any yet, so I mean, I figured why not use this opportunity to do that, you know?
Oh yeah, man. Let's hear it.
Okay. Well, let's see. We got one of Houston's own here. First of all, Escape from the Zoo. So that'll be Jesse from Days and Days and his bunch over there. What's up, Jesse? I'm not sure if he's watching. He's probably not, but hi. Okay. Actually, my favorite one. I've been excited to actually say this one. So you remember Copyright Chaos, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I somehow convinced Todd to fucking do that. So Copyright Chaos is coming.
Cool.
I'm most stoked about that, man. That's one of those bands I listened to in high school.
Right on.
Yeah, so I'm stoked on that. Mikostos, is that right?
Oh yeah.
I wanted to say this. Yeah, yeah. Okay. So those guys are coming. My band Gen Y will be there. Your Disorder from Houston, Casual Relapse from Dallas, and Yaff from Houston. They're a newer band, but those guys rule. So I would definitely go check them out.
Awesome. Yeah, Copyright Chaos is one of those bands that I have never seen and would love to.
Oh yeah, I know. I haven't seen them before either. I'm in a band with like Todd over in Austin. I'm in a band called Crime Revenge with them, and
Cool.
still have yet to see his band. I've been on his ass about that shit. So it's
Right
like
on.
after a couple of years of me saying something, I guess we're finally able to do it.
Very cool, man.
Yeah.
What did you say, to convince them?
Can you play the show? Yeah. I mean, honestly, it really didn't take much. I kind of stopped talking about it for a while because I kind of figured it wasn't going to happen. So out of nowhere, I just hit him up the other day, and I was just like, "Hey, man, think maybe this year?" Like, please. And yeah, so he's like, "Actually, hit me up at the right time. Could it be a more perfect moment? I'm already talking to him about whatever else." So yeah.
Cool.
So I'm not sure what's going on in their bunch over there, but it's looking pretty good to me.
Awesome, man. Well, timing is everything, and you just never know.
Yeah, I just happened to hit him up when he was already talking to one of them. So
Very cool. Yeah, man. So what would you say is like your favorite thing about the festival?
my favorite thing about it
Yeah.
is
Is it
just
like the process of booking it, or like the actual show, or like hanging out with the bands, the day before or day of? Like, what would you say is your favorite thing?
well, that's hard. I mean, I love all of it. Booking it's probably one of my least favorite parts because that's like one of the most stressful parts. But my favorite part is definitely at the show. It's always that first day, like the first band that goes on, the second that starts, like every single bit of weight leaves me in an instant, and like it's just fucking great. And then I don't know, just seeing everybody having a good time. Honestly, like I'll just stand in the back sometimes. I'll just like stand in the back every once in a while, and just like look at everything and just take it in, and like just seeing everybody have fun makes me like have a good time. Like that's my favorite part is just seeing people smiling and having a good time.
That's rad, man, because that's really what this whole thing is about, is just like giving back to the community. And like, it's supposed to be something that's fun for all of us.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I remember going to Punxmas when I was younger, or like any other show. I remember what it's like. Like, I mean, I keep that in mind with Punxmas too. There's probably gonna be maybe some kids coming that aren't very used to the scene or anything. So we always try to make it like comfortable for them too. Everybody. And so keeping that in mind when I'm there, like, I don't know, it just kind of gives me a really good feeling inside. Like, man, I remember this when I was their age. And then like, fuck, it's weird saying that because now I feel old as fuck. But but really though, like that's one of my favorite parts, especially like seeing the younger kids come. That's the best part.
Yeah, man. People, I don't think a lot of people realize how much work is involved when it comes to booking a festival, or even just like a show, just a regular show.
Yeah. Just a show will kick your ass.
Yeah, man. And like, man, I used to book tours, and like I couldn't wait for it to be done.
Yeah. No, I can imagine. I've been thinking about doing the same here lately, but I'm still on the edge of that one.
Yeah, it's a lot of work, man. I mean, things have changed so much from when I used to do it to now, because there's so many more resources available now that weren't available back then.
Yeah.
So I think in that regard, it would be easier.
Mm-hmm.
But it's still just like the constant back and forth with the communication, trying to like nail something down. That part it's just so tedious, and like I don't know that I'd have the patience for it anymore.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, I know. I keep telling myself that every year too. Like, I don't have patience. Why am I doing this? And I keep doing it. Then I just go harder every time. So.
I feel the same way about being in a band a lot of times.
Yep. definitely that too, man. Yeah, I'm gonna like, I don't know how I haven't died of stress yet, man.
Right.
Yeah,
It's just something about the passion behind it, you know. It's like,
I think it's gonna make me live longer.
yeah, right.
Yeah, dude, I pretty much like I run on spite at this point, and like,
No, I can
yeah.
relate to that fully, man. Like,
Oh yeah.
you know, like just wanting to piss people off to prove that I can do something. It's like,
Yep. Dude, I'm hard headed as fuck, man. Yeah.
before we go any further, I want to address the audience for a second.
Yeah.
If you are listening right now or you're watching and you would like to ask James or myself any questions, go ahead and submit your questions by tapping that question mark icon on your device. We're getting real close to the live Q&A portion of the show. You guys don't be shy. This is your opportunity to ask us whatever the fuck you want. It doesn't have to be about anything specific.
Yeah.
This is supposed to be fun for all of us. So yeah, go ahead and submit those questions, guys. So James, let's talk a little bit more just about this year and what's different from years previous, especially because of COVID. Like when you and I were talking on the phone before, like you missed 1 year because of COVID, and I'm sure that was really frustrating.
Yeah.
But with that in the rear view mirror, like, did that change, you know, kind of the way you approach things for this year?
I'm laughing because like I don't think so, honestly. Like, I mean, I'm not sure. I don't know. I think I approach things a little more cautiously. I mean, there's got to be something different, right? But I can't really put my finger on it, other than maybe waiting a little bit longer to like start, like kind of like I don't know. Especially right now, since who knows if we're even fully out of the woods with anything anymore? Like fucking, shit keeps coming back around. So I don't know. This year I kind of approached it with caution. Last year I approached it with caution, but I think I'm feeling a lot better about it. I don't think I'm really changing much due to that. I'm changing things in other ways that no one will probably even notice, just in the ways that I, organize and keep everything on track.
Yeah.
But like, as you should do with anything, like I try and get better every time. Every time I do something, I want it to be better the next time, So yeah, just my organization skills mostly, and that's always been something I need to work on anyway. So
Right.
honestly, booking expense helped me with my entire life in general. I probably would be the most disorganized person in the world if I wasn't doing this. Yeah.
Yeah, it's, one of those things when you've got other people relying on you, and it'll kick your ass.
Yeah, it's like we rely on each other, Like, yeah, like I rely on them, they rely on me, they definitely rely on me. But I've also had, this, and too, like there's also times like bands don't show up or like shit like that. Like bands showing up at the end of the night suddenly now, like, or like they show up like just at the perfect like prime time of the night, like, oh, we can play now. It's like, I bet you can. But you missed your spot, bud.
Yeah, that actually happened to us one time. We were supposed to play CBGBs.
Yeah.
And
damn,
dude, like, this is back before GPS devices, right?
Yeah.
And like the only directions we had were like printed out from MapQuest. And
yeah, dude. Those are key maps.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We were supposed to use some tunnel, and we couldn't use it because there was propane on our vehicle. We had an RV that had propane on it. And this was like right after 9/11. So
oh shit. Yeah.
they wouldn't allow any vehicles with propane. Well, we didn't know any other way to get there other than the directions that we had printed out. So we got lost in New York City for like an hour and a half.
It's easy to do.
Yeah. And then by the time we showed up, like we had missed our set, and so we weren't able to play. But we still got to hang out and see it, and that was cool.
That's better than not ever getting to, So
right.
yeah, because I I mean, I've lived in New York City before for a while, and like I still go up there all the time, but I've never been, and it sucks. Like I even tried to go to a spot where it was. It doesn't. Nothing even relatively looks like it did. So like, you
Yeah.
wouldn't even know anymore.
Yeah, it's changed a lot over the years for sure.
Yeah. But I mean, I don't know. New York's a great place, though. Either way, I love it out there, man.
Yeah, man, it's one of those places that I really look forward to going to every time I know I'm going to be there, but
Yep.
I don't think I could handle living there.
Yeah, there's a reason I'm back in Houston now. So I
Yeah.
mean, I don't know, dude. As soon as wintertime hit, I was like,
You're like,
nah,
fuck this.
nah, I'm good, dude. What the fuck is this white shit?
Right?
Yeah, it don't snow. I mean, I don't know. Here lately it has been, but you know, growing up here, ain't no wintertime here, man. So
Right.
yeah.
Okay, we do have a question that's popped through from the audience, so I'm going to go ahead and bring that up. Okay, this first question comes from Bambi Nicole. She says, will Punxmas have vendors again? Sad I couldn't make it to the last one, but notice the last one had them.
Oh, hey, is that Bambi? Yeah, it is. Hey, what's up? Yeah, no, we're having them this year. So I believe I'm not sure if it was you asking me last year about wanting to bend, but yeah, we are doing that. And anybody who wants to bend for Punxmas can message me on Facebook or on my Instagram here. So yeah, just hit me up and we can get something sorted out because I do still need vendors, definitely.
Can you tell me a little bit about vendors that have been there in the past and, you know, maybe some of your favorite ones that you'd want to give a shout out to?
Oh yeah, Boulevard Trash. That was probably my favorite one that came out.
Nice.
Like fucking yeah, Tony and Michelle are the best, man. Like
Yeah, they are. They're great people.
yeah, they brought out like, you know, a good chunk of things from the shop, you know. So that was great. That was a really big setup too. Like I was actually kind of really impressed with that. Because not only were they like because he was also playing with Chernobyl Babies that year too. So like he brought his band and all his gear from the shop. Like, damn man, that's crazy. That any food vendor is my favorite. Like food's my favorite, man. So just everybody, I'd have like 100 food vendors if I could. But yeah, honestly, probably that one. I mean, various artists and stuff. Like over the years, I'm starting to, like can't really recall every single one of them. So like, I almost feel bad for shouting any one out at this point. But like, I love them all. Like that's like I typically go with people that I think have really interesting things, or just like, you know, like a lot of leatherwork stuff, like a lot of like bootstraps and, you know, shit like that, down to like patches, down to like my homie down the street selling his paintings, you know. So I love all that stuff. We had one cool one where this artist went and brought like a tent. He had like a whole tent set up, and it's like a dome. You go inside this dome, and it's just like lit up all crazy, and like he's got different like paintings all over it, like weird art all over the place you could buy from the inside. That was probably one of the most interesting ones I've seen. So I like to have definitely a lot of artsy stuff too. Usually, whenever Punxmas is going on.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Mentioning Boulevard Trash, I don't know if you have seen that they recently underwent a small expansion in their store. So for anybody that's watching that is local to the area or is passing through Tulsa at any point, and you want to check out a cool record store, they've got a lot of great vinyl over there, and they just made room for more of it. So shout out to Tony and Michelle, man. Like you said, they're great.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I was going to shout them out as well, man. I had to bring them up. Like, so I buy half my shirts.
Right on. Okay, we've got another question here. This one comes from our friend Jason Clank. J Clank 77 says, we had a blast at Punxmas this year. Sorry if I missed this, but will it be at the same venue?
It might. So, I mean, I haven't confirmed it yet, so I don't want to say yes and then make them all mad at me for saying yes prematurely. But it's either going to be there or at another one of my favorite venues. It's just, right now, I'm debating between two because it's kind of a money thing at this moment, like which one's going to charge me less to have the room, you know? So, yeah, but it's probably more than likely going to be there.
Has there ever been somebody that showed up to the festival that you had no idea was coming, that just really surprised you in a good way?
Okay, in a good way. I got another story later, but oh, we've had some shit happen, dude. In a good way? Like, what do you mean?
Like maybe somebody from a band that like you're a fan of, that you know, like they just showed up to attend the festival, or like
oh yeah. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say like maybe from a band or anything. Usually like I'm usually pretty good at figuring out who's coming and who's not coming, like, but I haven't had anybody like quite like that, but I've had like my buddy Jake, he was in a band called the Ballistics here, and that's also like one of my favorite bands that's played Punxmas also. Those guys fucking rule, man. They've been playing since like the 90s. And he recently was in the hospital. He was like in a coma for a bit or something, and then like just had all these health issues come up, and like he can't really walk anymore. He's like kind of, you know, like he got like all kinds of like fucked up shit going on. He's like relearning to walk, relearning to talk. He's doing fucking really good now. And last year he showed up. Like he actually showed up, like walked in and like fucking gave me a big ass hug and said he fucking, and just said how happy he was to be there. That was probably the coolest fucking thing that's ever happened.
That's really awesome, man, because, you know, he had been thinking about it and thinking about it and thinking about it.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
and that had even been like part of his like inspiration for, you know, his path in recovery.
Yeah, no, exactly, man. I was not expecting any of that whatsoever. So that one caught me off guard and kind of like lit up the rest of my night for sure.
Awesome. Next audience question comes from Anarcho-Possum 13. They ask, is there any specific set that sticks out in your mind that you look back on and want to relive? That's a great question.
That is a really good question because there's a few, but if I had to name one, it would probably be a band called Molotov Compromise from here. I'm not sure if you're familiar. They're like a ska punk band out of here, and Corpus, I guess, too. But that was actually before I threw on the festival. So I mean, I'll get to one that I threw, and the one before I started throwing them. But before I started doing it, definitely Molotov Compromise in 2008, 2009. That was probably the most insane Punxmas Fest I've ever seen in my life because I think that was my friend Jessica booked that one. I'm not sure, so don't kill me, Jessica, because I know you're watching. So there's that White Swan. This is kind of a really small venue, and I don't think even they expected so many people to show up because like this place was like so damn packed. There's literally people on top of people. Like, I don't know, have you ever been in like such a small room at such a large crowd, like a punk show? Like, it was literally people on people, dude. Like, as uncomfortable as it was my favorite fucking set ever because there's just so much. Like, it's like the chaos of all chaos, and I loved it.
Yeah, that's one of the things that like I've talked about with some people that throw shows, and like, you know, that kind of energy is like really what kind of defines the punk rock movement. You know, it's that high energy and that chaos that just makes the show thrive in that kind of environment.
Oh yeah, that one's gonna be in my head for the rest of my life. Actually, man, I love that question. Thank you for asking. Man, oh yeah, I just realized who that is. Thank you so much. Yeah, so yeah, that, and then my favorite since I've been doing it, it's got to be last year when Blank 77 played because you know, Mike hit me up and he was like, "Hey, so like we don't have guitar right now, so like I ended up filling in." And so I had 48 hours to learn all the songs. And I did somehow, besides one. I think there was one that I totally butchered. But but yeah, no, that was probably my favorite one. Because first of all, Blake 77 is my favorite fucking, like one of my absolute favorite bands. And not only did I get to see them, well, I got to see them play technically because I was standing there looking at them. But yeah, I got to play in one of my favorite fucking bands. So that was cool as fuck.
Yeah, Blank 77 is one of those bands that I cannot wait to see again. I have not seen them since I think it was '99.
Damn, yeah.
And it was so fucking cool because I didn't know who they were at that time.
Yeah.
I just knew that I was going to a punk show at like my local venue, which was also a record store.
Yeah, you didn't know what you were getting into, did you?
No, and I fell in love with them during the set, and then started buying their records. In fact, I think I might have bought CBH from them. I don't remember if I bought it from them or if I bought it from a record store at that show, because I think they were promoting it on that tour. But anyway, like, I would listen to their shit like on repeat so much, waiting for like the next opportunity to finally see them again and for them to put out another record. And then they like went on a hiatus for a long time.
Yeah, they did. And it seems like right now they're going back like hard as hell because they're playing constantly now. Every time I turn on Facebook, I'm seeing a flyer with their name on it.
Yeah, it's fucking cool, man.
Yeah, I love it. I'm loving it right now. Actually, dude, like speaking of that, like just the punk scene in general right now seems to be blowing up hard as fuck. I mean, it already was, but it's just like right now it seems to be a really good time. I don't know if it's COVID or what, but
yeah, I actually wanted to ask you about that, like how it is in Houston right now. Like, have you seen it grow in the last couple of years, or what's it like?
Bigger than I've never seen it this huge here. Like,
really,
it used to be. Yeah, I've never in my entire fucking life seen it like this. Like, it's insane, man. It's like, and like most of it's just like a bunch of like baby punks, man. Like it's great. It's great. There's just a ton of like, I don't know what the fuck happened during COVID. Like, I don't know, like, I don't know what went wrong with these kids, but now they're here. So you know what? Like, I love it. And also like a bunch of new venues started popping up. Austin seemed like it was the place to be for a long time, and like it kind of died during COVID. And I'm not sure if everybody just came here, but yeah, no, it's like there's almost like so many that all the venues are having problems because there's so many like shows happening on top of shows in the same night.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, I have a theory about all the newcomers, and like I definitely think that COVID played a part in it, because you think about all these kids that had so much more time on their hands than they had before.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that, that just gives tons of opportunity for discovery.
Yeah,
and,
seriously.
Those, at that age, like when you and I were getting into it, 12, 13 years old, like the more you find, the more you want.
Yep. Oh yeah. And then it just grows and grows from there. And on top of that, those same kids getting into it, I'm sure they got social media now, so now these kids are sharing with all the other kids, like, look at this cool shit I just found. And then they like it. Wow, you know what? That's crazy. Like, it makes me wonder, like, where it's going to go from there. Like, damn. Like, because now a lot more kids are probably finding it than we were finding it back in the day.
Right. And then, of course, like, because of COVID and shows weren't able to happen, you have all these people that are just like so ready for live entertainment again. And that includes those kids that were like wanting to, to get into the live music scene and then couldn't. And, they had to wait. So I'm sure that played a part.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely.
We are getting to the point where we're going to have to wrap it up soon. But before I let you go, I wanted to ask you, what is the thing that you're looking forward to the most with this year's Punxmas Fest?
The what?
The thing that you're looking forward to the most with this year's festival.
This year, honestly, like Copyright Chaos coming out, man. That's what I'm excited about. I'm probably more excited about that. It's always good to see Escape from the Zoo. Usually I get up and play like one of the songs with those guys because I'm on like one of the albums with them for like one track. So like I always come up and play it when they play. Yeah, honestly, those two alone right now. I can't really mention like some of the other ones yet because I'm not super confirmed on some of them. But yeah, I'm excited about a lot this year. I just can't talk about all of it just yet.
Right on. Well, you'll you'll have to update us whenever you can talk about it. And, you know, maybe we can just repost the flyer for you or whatever we can do to help, you know, bring some attention to it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm going to actually be posting it today. I was going to wait for today to post it. So now that we've already mentioned, you know, who's playing and all that, I'll probably go ahead and throw that up on a little band announcement flyer, and we'll do that. I appreciate it, man. That's awesome.
Yeah, no problem, man. That's what this whole thing is about, man. Just like I said before, giving back to the community and trying to do things to help it grow and thrive and be a fun place for all of us.
Oh, yeah, man. That's what I'm all about, too, man. It's what I try and do out here as much as I can. Because, I mean, helping the community, you're helping yourself, right?
Exactly.
We're all helping each other. Yeah.
Before I let you go, are there any other shout-outs that you'd like to give? A
few. But I'm not trying not to do too many because, you know, like, we all want to shout out all our friends. We'd be sitting here for like 2 days. We pull out my whole scroll.
No, man, go ahead. Do your thing.
Mostly I just got like a short list here that I was throwing together earlier. But no, like Dave Rodriguez, first of all. I was just talking to him the other day. Like, fucking love that dude. Like,
great guy.
He's been the biggest help in my life lately. So, as for a lot of people, I'm sure that is one of the most fucking down-to-earth, gold-hearted dudes I know.
No doubt.
Yeah, absolutely. So Dave, like Tony Cosiglio, Michelle, you know those guys. We were talking about them earlier. Susie Moon, who is also kicking a lot of ass right now.
She is.
Anybody who's listening, if you haven't heard Susie Moon yet, go check that shit out, please.
Okay. It's so good.
She's a sweetheart too. Yeah, she's a sweetheart. I love them to death, man. And April Shipman, of course, the fucking beast. April and Todd, like my bandmates. So I mean, it's pretty. I would like to mention everybody. Jessica Copper, definitely too, because you're the one that came up with this whole Punxmas thing and got me into this mess. So, but yeah, I love it though. So, yeah, I can't go on too many names here because then I'm gonna start feeling bad for other ones. I'm like, well, okay. But yeah, no, just anybody that's been helping out with Punxmas and helping my bands out, helping me out, and just being supportive in any kind of way. Like, I fucking love all you dudes, man. Rotten Stitches, I know I saw one of you guys on here. I saw you, man. Yeah, those guys too. I don't know if Punxmas would be doing as awesome if it weren't for them also. They always come and fucking tear it the fuck down too. Actually, on that note, I was going to mention earlier about something. So I think I was saying something about a good moment that happened. Just because I saw them on here. Rotten Stitches were playing one year. And I'm not going to get in specifics because that would not be a great idea. But so a whole fucking biker fight starts out in Punxmas one year. I mean, like, bad, dude. Like, brass knuckles and, like, baseball bats and shit.
Oh,
like,
shit.
Yeah, it was fucked, dude. Like, it's like a huge brawl. Like, unrelated to us even almost. Because, like, it just happens to be people that were there. And then, like, a rival fucking one comes in. And then suddenly now the whole floor is just full of them. And there's, like, blood everywhere. And everybody's like, what the fuck is happening? Rotten Stitches is playing the whole time on stage. And they're just sitting up there just geeking the fuck out, smiling really big. They're like, what the fuck? They didn't even stop playing. It was great, man.
That's cool, man. That's another band that I have not seen live yet, and I'm really looking forward to seeing them at 40 Fest. So it's going to be great.
Oh, dude, fuck yeah. Yeah, I'll be at that one.
Hell
yeah, I was, dude. Yeah. Yeah, I'll just read this. What's up?
I was going to say thank you so much, man, for taking the time to be my guest today on Punk Rock Talk. It's been great chatting with you.
It has been.
Before I let you go, would you please let the audience know who next week's guest is going to be?
Okay. I wrote that one down. All right. Next guest is going to be Franco Villanueva. Villanueva?
Yep.
Villanueva? Okay. Yeah, sorry, like, I can't read my own handwriting, so I did not write down who he is with, sorry. But
it's Franco Villanueva with Destructive Productions. They're in NorCal, and if you're not familiar with them, they've got a great venue there that not only hosts shows but is also a skate park.
Dude, yes.
And he's in a couple great bands too, the Militia. But yeah, he's a rad dude. He's been in the scene a long time, and he and his wife are doing great things in the Northern California area. So I'm excited to have them on here and to talk with Franco.
Dude. Sweet. Hell yeah. I'm actually going to go follow all that right now, right after this.
Hell yeah, man. That's what this is about, man. Like connecting people, you know, so that
definitely.
You know, let's support each other, you know, not just in person, but online too.
Yeah, anytime online, man, especially these days, it's easier than ever to do that. Like, anytime I see anybody doing anything like fucking cool or like, doing anything at all, like I'll always go and follow them on Facebook.
Hell yeah. Well, it's been great for us too, because like I didn't even realize that we weren't following you until today.
Yeah, I didn't realize the same thing until you sent me that. I was like, what?
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought I was already following you.
Yeah, and it's weird because I know that you and I are friends on Facebook and I believe on Instagram also, even though I'm not on there as much. But so I figured that we were following you, and then when I discovered that we weren't, I was like, "That's fucked. Why don't we?"
Right. I kind of felt bad at first, like, damn, I should have followed them already. Okay. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. It happens like that sometimes, man. There's just so many of us.
Yeah, man. We're just trying to connect the dots, right?
Yeah.
I mean, well, right on, man. Thanks again for being my guest.
Yeah, absolutely.
I've really enjoyed chatting with you, and I can't wait to the opportunity when we can actually do it in person.
Yeah, no, I can't either. That'd be great. Hell yeah, we will. That's happening.
Hell yeah, man. Well, until next time, best of luck with everything you got going on with Punxmas. Let us know, man. Yeah. We'll help promote that shit.
Fuck yeah, we're gonna do it this year, man. It's gonna be badass.
Awesome. To play us out, this is Full Force Attack by Chaotic Alliance. We'll see you guys next time. Thanks for tuning in to another episode of Punk Rock Talk. Later.
All right, later, man. Oh, shit.